a line that I thought was interesting, and I'm interested in whether you think it will work. Boris Johnson accused the Labour leader Keir Starmer of being a Corbynista in an Islington suit. Did that do it for you, John?
What, has it got resonance?
Yeah.
I don't think it has resonance out there, no. No, I don't think it's got any resonance. I think things have moved on.
Don't even know what it meant.
Eh?
I didn't even know what he meant. I mean, that's the sort of lines you get at PMQs which are irrelevant to most of the country. And somebody in the PM's preparation thought this was a good thing to say. And the leader of it had the same thing. I think it's much better when the guys just say what they think. And that's why some of the questions later on, when they haven't got notice or haven't worked out what they're going to get, actually get better answers. Yeah,
particularly Philip Hollowbone, because it's the same hospital.
Yeah.
That was a good question. I mean, we all know this happens. You know, I've been in meetings where you're planning, when we were in government, where you're planning what the Chancellor or whoever it happens to be is going to say. And very often in those little meetings where there's 3 or 4 of you, somebody will come up with a line, and in the privacy of that meeting, it sounds brilliant. When you get out there and you've got 400-500 MPs behind you and in front of you, suddenly it all crumbles. And with that particular line that the Prime Minister used, I just can't see it having resonance out there.
No. You won't be using it on your doorstep, Peter.
No, but by the way, whenever I have a question to PM, I never tell him what I'm going to ask. Because
some
then
colleagues do, and
and he reads the answer out, doesn't he?
Because you're giving our viewers an insight, which we all know, but they don't necessarily. They don't want to give the Prime Minister to be caught off guard, so they tip him off in advance.
Don't do it. Tell him, if you give the Prime Minister the question he doesn't know, he's more likely to say what he thinks, not what some advisor thinks he should be saying. And I would, all my colleagues, unless it's something very technical to do with a particular area, you shouldn't tell the PM. He should stand up and have to listen to what you're going to say and think, and then you get a much better answer.
By the way, it would have happened under Labour as well. That's many decades ago when Labour was in government.
Oh, it used to happen all... When we came up, when I was first elected in 1997, you know, we had that majority of 180. And the number of planted... every day there was this avalanche of planted questions. And the problem, if you put a planted question in your own voice, so it sounds a bit more sort of spontaneous and relaxed and natural, you can get away with it. But if you just read it out in the way that it's been read, it becomes very clear to people in there, but also people out in the country, that you're not asking your own question. By the way, there is one exception to not notifying. I mean, I've never notified people of what I'm going to ask. The one exception to that I find is business questions, where you're asking for a debate on a Thursday morning, because there the leader of the House can say anything he or she likes, actually. And I've found with a few leaders on our side and on the Tory side, you actually get a more substantive answer because you're talking about business. And I've asked about our hospital quite a few times about various other issues, but on the other policy questions, then I think Peter's probably right that you don't get much of an answer if you give a warning, because all the Secretary of State or the Prime Minister is going to do is churn out a load of statistics that make the government look good, and that don't get you anywhere.
Yeah.